Hello and welcome to another edition of the meanings in Meaning in the Multiverse. Today we're going to be speaking about the all-natural universal meaning that's called the heavenly database meaning. This is the fourth out of 8 of the meanings in the multiverse. Go through the YouTube channel and look for the remainder of these introductions into meaning in the multiverse. I've looked at the general landscape of each of these meanings as we've gone through these various videos. And I want to do that again here in this video as well. These meanings are all metaphysical speculations. And so these are going where the science is not today. Metaphysics is beyond the physics. And so we're looking at a physics that might be 5 years out, it might be 500 years out. And so we are making speculations today, and this is not the hard and fast science, although it is based on where the science is today and where it is leading us. It is not metaphysics in the way, the New Age way of thinking about metaphysics. This is based in science and in philosophy of reality and the philosophy of reality beyond where the physics is today. So these metaphysical speculations are all natural. We will not be going into any gods or goddesses in order to create these metaphysical speculations. Indeed, even though we tongue-in-cheek might talk about the heavenly database, we're not going to be actually talking about an afterlife in terms of what the Bible might think about that term of heavenly. We're going to talk a little bit about meanings that are universal as well as those that are just prevalent personal meanings. So in the case of the heavenly database meaning, which we'll be talking about today, that is a universal meaning. That means that if the makeup of the universe is idealistic or informational, as we're going to talk about today, then that is actually a fundamental makeup of the way that the universe is. And it doesn't depend on what kind of mind or what sort of consciousness that we're considering. We'll see a little bit more about the difference between prevalent personal and universal in just a second. And then finally, these meanings are either a sort of works meaning, something that we are doing for the multiverse, or they are a graced meaning. And that means that they are given to us as a part of the universe, and we don't have to do anything for them. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, again, in the heavenly database meaning. The heavenly database meaning arises out of the metaphysics of idealism. And idealism basically says that the universe is fundamentally either consciousness or information. And we are going to take today the idea that the universe is fundamentally made of information. So that is bit over it. That is pieces of information over the actual matter that makes up the walls and floors and atoms around us. This meaning, again, is called the heavenly database meaning, but we are going to be talking about a concept in science that is well founded in science, that we are in a bitwise universe and information is contingent with matter, but is actually more fundamental to the universe than matter. On this side, we see an illustration of what the heavenly database could look like and how we can conceive of it. So what we're seeing here is that the fabric of the universe is actually made of information. And that's what the zeros and ones on that fabric represent. Those zeros and ones in strings that can be pulled together can either project the current universe. So that's the picture in the lower left, is that projection in holographic universe. The current universe is being projected and we are living in that universe. And so in this case, there's an old lady living in the current projection of the universe. But somewhere else in the universe is stored a past that is accessible to the right sort of technology. And that past involves the complete fabrication of the universe from her past. So in this case, of her dancing with her long lost lover. So this sort of universal conception, again, if the universe is fundamentally made of information, would allow for both the present to be projected, but the past to be stored and potentially retrieved, both in a read-write relationship with the current projection, utilizing some future technology, utilizing some defragmentation or future way of reading the actual information stored on the fabric of the universe. From the text, the heavenly database is defined as the holographic universe is projected from a quantum mechanical database on its surface. This database is capable of also storing information of the past in its vast databanks. The right process or technology might be able to defragment this data and project our past into near parallel universes. And so also from the text, we'll look here into meaning in the multiverse. This from page 107, the chapter on idealism. The fourth form of universal meaning from the idealistic universe is the universal meaning of remembrance. An important form of personal meaning happens when we take solace in the remembrance of our loved ones that have died, of the good times that we have had with those that have moved far away, of our youth as we grow older. We add meaning to these events, often wanting to live more in the meaning-imbibed past than in the painful present. For all of human history, we have built on the comfort of our memory of times past and our remembrance of loved ones who have died by constructing realms that offer the type of metaphysical meaning most desired in human history. A life beyond death, a place where our remembrances are forever reenacted. As an atheist living in Mormondom, I'm often confronted by the unique human need for solace for those that have been left behind. In both of the neighborhoods where I have owned homes in Salt Lake City, I have befriended elderly women that are not religious. In a theocracy, the non-believers often stick together. So I am close enough to them to talk frankly and have been glad to offer my consolations when each of their husbands passed away while I was their neighbor. One claim that I am unable to make is that their husbands are in, quote, a better place. While I am openly glad that they have passed out of the suffering of protracted illness, this is an added silver lining to the moment that is upsetting to my lovely neighbors. My consolations fail to address either the end of personal meaning for the deceased or my neighbor's increased suffering from not having that person around. I listen and am understanding, but when asked if I really think it all ends with death, I can see the impact of my answer in the affirmative. They are crestfallen. An afterlife is at once the most desirable and the most undesirable component of religion. The purported paradise on the supernatural plane of existence that we go to when we die offers the solace of reconnection and continued generation of meaning in the afterlife, but offers a mixed bag of behaviors among those believers living for the ever after in the here and now. Some perform good works to get into the good place, bettering all of our time here, but others claim a scriptural fast pass for themselves and their tribe, relegating all others to the bad place, and misbehave accordingly. A universe of information, not even necessarily experiential or conscious, but a huge hard drive that reads, erases, and writes existence, in some or all of its granularity, would have some record of all of our interactions, even after we died. Our life's existence is one bit of being, and our bit of info is our own chalkboard, one of the black ones, one for us alone. Our bit is a single scratching, as though leaning and thinking against a cool piece of graphite, ready to write. Painting an intellectual masterpiece onto your blackboard opus is the most soulful and consequential epic in which to focus our bit-like but universally accessible examined life. Our life written on the fabric of reality could be recorded and meaningful long after we have ceased to exist. As we can see on this view graph, there are a couple of ways to understand and utilize these universal meanings in our day-to-day life. On the left-hand side, if we think about the heavenly database, these moments of flow might be written and never erased on the heavenly database. So the way that we might ensure that our most important experiences are written and not ever erased from the heavenly database is to make them most impactful and to do them in a state of flow in which they will be, well written and continue to be recorded and re-recorded as the heavenly database continues to evolve. On the other hand, what we can ensure that is meaningful is our experience of the present, what is on the right, as our mindful experience of the here and now. And so by living our lives with a hope and a desire to build better mindful experiences, we are going to live in those present moments, whether they're stored on a database on the fabric of the universe or not. And that is really an important way to live your life. And of course, by being more aware of those moments, by appreciating all of the nuances of consciousness more, if that is stored in a database on the fabric of reality, that is going to be something that you're also going to be able to, with future technology, bring to light and relive in its entirety with mindful awareness. This meaning, the heavenly database meaning, along with 7 others, can be read and understand in context in the book Meaning in the Multiverse, A Skeptic's Guide to a Loving Cosmos, which is coming out on Darwin Day in 2021. It will be available on Amazon as well as on my website, justinaharnish.com/shop. And I want to thank you so much for coming and watching these videos and understanding a little bit more about meaning that is actually granted to us, that is important for the multiverse itself from humans and other intelligent species. Thank you very much.